Hello everybody and welcome to Haus. I'm Rob and today we're going to be going over some major leaks, one from Legends ZA and a couple potential ones from Gen 10. So I'm really excited about these. I'm really intrigued to see what you guys think about them. But before we dive in, I'm going to ask that you guys like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the great Pokemon content we have coming out nearly every single day. But with that, let's just hop into it here. There are some interesting leaks. The first one is going to be Mega Feraligatr, something that we know for sure is coming in the game. There have been numerous different leaks of this Pokemon, specifically what it's going to look like. The fact that it's likely going to be a water and dragon Pokemon, which is definitely an interesting combination. And you can see it right here. There's been rumors for a while talking about how it's going to have kind of this red armor going over its mouth, I guess. I'm making the kind of thing there. You can see it in front of me, though. And then that's really going to be kind of about it. You can see this Honey Waffle person posted this over the weekend, and then this person color corrected and cleaned it and enhanced it a little bit, so that we can better see it. And yeah, I mean, this really does just look like Feraligatr with a little bit of red armor. I don't hate it. I'm interested to see, what these red spikes are going to do, kind of, what the stat boosts are going to be, the new moves that we might get with Feraligatr. I love the fact that it's getting a Mega, and I love the fact that it's going to be a Dragon type as well, most likely at least. But, this kind of reminds me of Druddigon, personally. It feels almost like a carbon copy of that. I still feel like they maybe could have done a little bit more. I actually would have liked to see more armor around the rest of its body, not just really on its head and kind of its arms and back. I know that seems like a lot of it, but you can even tell from this image here that that doesn't feel like the case. I will go out here and just say that I really do believe that this is probably a real leak. We've heard so many other leakers talk about, the way these Mega Evolutions are going to look, and this one is pretty spot on. Even if it is a fan-made creation, I would have to assume that this is going to be pretty close to what we're going to be looking at for Feraligatr. So, I'm interested in this one. I'm interested also to hear what you guys think about it. Let me know if you think that this is real or not, if you like the design or not. But we are going to move on because there is something for Gen 10 that has recently surfaced. And I'm not just saying that to be, I guess punny, if you want to call it that. Can I make this bigger? I guess I can't really make this bigger. But you guys can see on my screen right now that apparently, there have been a lot of rumors, a ton of rumors that the next generation is going to be set in Greece. It's going to be called, Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves. So I don't know. We'll have to see if that ends up being the case. But, you've got the Buizel and the Floatzels here kind of going around. You got the Alamolas, I believe is what it's called, or Lolamola. I can't remember exactly. And it makes sense. Like, this is probably from a trailer that they are working on. I could see us potentially even getting it at the end of the year or maybe next year. It does feel a little early, though, for them to have a trailer already completed, unless if this game's going to be coming out early to mid next year. So we will have to see on this one, but, you could see down here, I don't know, can I change the color on this? Haha, red pen. So you can see down here, you've got the Pokemon Winds. Sorry guys, it's terrible. You have the Pokemon Winds there, the Pokemon Waves there, and you can even see down here, it looks like it says 2026. So we already know that this game is likely scheduled to be coming out next year. I think if it got pushed back any more, Pokemon fans might lose their minds. I know a lot of other people are out there like, take your time, make it really, really good. I don't know that that's going to affect how good Pokemon's going to make it graphically, because it feels like that's mostly in the graphics camps of people. I really think that this will probably launch on the Nintendo Switch 2, so I think automatically the graphics will look better. We already saw that, with the difference between Legends ZA on the Nintendo Switch 1 and even the very brief, 30-second trailer we got with the Nintendo Switch 2. But if this should be true, I'm starting to lean towards this being fake, to be honest with you. The Floatzel and the Buizel, along with the Alamolas, I don't know. That's fine. And they're underwater, I guess, so that could make sense. It's just a weird screenshot. It feels like something that somebody could very easily make on their own right now using models from, either Legends Arceus or from Scarlet and Violet. But I'd be curious to see if you guys feel differently. It would make sense. There have been so many people talking about these next ones being called Winds and Waves that I can't tell if it's that there's just, pretenders who are out there who are just wanting to, kind of attach the names to it, get their images out there, and just get the, I guess, fake notoriety that they would like, or if there's more to it. I really have no idea, but I would be intrigued, like I said, to hear what you guys think about it. So, let me know. There are some more Gen 10 rumors out there that have come out, specifically on 4chan as well. I don't know if you guys can see that all that well. Let me zoom in here. So again, Pokemon Wind and Wave. Now these are different. This one came out a couple days ago. The image leak I also think was from just a couple days ago, but I'm trying to cover these a little bit more often. If you guys want to see more types of content like this, please let me know. But yeah, Pokemon Wind and Wave. The region is based on Greece. This is the predominant rumor right now out there, is that this next region is going to be on Greece. Diving in water routes like wild areas that connect islands. There are 7 islands. So this would be interesting. Okay. Starters are a squid water type Pokemon, a dog fire type, and a rabbit grass type. There are 8 gyms, Elite Four, and a champion, the classic Pokemon experience. The gym leaders are based on ancient Greek gods, though. That could be fun. Megas are back again from ZA. Lots of divergent evolutions, less regionals. The National Dex is back. This connects to champions. Makes sense. One of the legendaries is a bug dragon Pokemon. The DLC revolves around underwater ruins, and the release would be in November 2026. Oh boy, I don't know anymore. I feel like this definitely feels like a pretender in my mind. Good that they got Wind and Wave right, seemingly. Right, the Greece part again has been pushed pretty significantly, but I don't know that anybody is gonna want diving and water routes like wild areas that connect all the 7 islands. Swimming around in the water is one of the, surfing is generally one of the parts that people like the least about some of the older games. You're just running into so many Pokemon. I don't love the idea. I don't mind island hopping again. I guess that's fine. I just really don't know. I just don't know how I feel about the double layers of water. I guess that could be fun. That could be interesting. But I don't know. I feel like most people would rather go running around and seeing a bunch of different, I don't know, different trees and just different mountains and different just things on land. If it's going to be on water and underwater, it's going to be kind of basic. It's just going to be okay, I'm, surfing on the water. That's pretty much it. Unless if there's going to be a lot more islands, maybe there's a bunch of smaller islands, maybe there's shipwrecks and other stuff like that. But I don't know. I struggle to see them going back to, the water route, the islands route. I do think that Greece makes sense, and I think that they could have some islands for sure. But I'd have to imagine that they'd focus more on a mainland. Maybe it's a combination between a normal, land of Pokemon game along with Alola, right, where you do have the island hopping as well. It could be both, and I'd be okay with that. But just having the wild areas be that big for the water, be that significant, feels like it's going to be really hard to get certain Pokemon. It feels like they're just going to have to repeat a ton of water and flying and ice Pokemon, which I guess is fine, but it's still not, it doesn't allow for as much variety. The starters as well being a squid water type Pokemon, that could be interesting. A dog fire just feels like, I don't know, maybe not repetitive, but I don't feel like it's necessary. And then a rabbit grass type could make sense, but they just had a rabbit Pokemon, right? With Sword and Shield. So I'm struggling a little bit to see that one as well. I'm not saying that it couldn't happen, but it would be a little bit surprising to say the least. The classic Pokemon experience would make sense. I feel like they'll probably keep that. The gym leaders being based on ancient Greek gods would be super cool. There are a ton of great, Greek gods from the myths that they could use. I wouldn't be surprised to see this potentially play a role. I just don't know how they would make it into the gym leaders. I guess maybe like the Zeus gym leader would be flying or electric types, right? I would love to see them maybe even do a combo. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, there's Poseidon, I guess, would be water, right? There's so many options with that one. I think that could be fun and certainly interesting as well. The Megas being back from ZA makes a ton of sense. A lot of people think that Megas are going to kind of continue to exist in Pokemon. I don't know if that means we're going to get new ones every single time, but they're at least going to continue to be a predominant part of it, especially with champions already kind of showing that off and making that likely. Lots of divergent evolutions and less regionals. I really wonder where they're going to go with this one, because I think that they could add some divergent evolutions. I wouldn't hate that. But I would be sad to see them do less regionals. Obviously, there's going to be a whole new crop of Pokemon. It is a new generation as well, so you have to keep that in mind. National Dex being back is going to be something that a fan would really, really want. I don't know if Pokemon's going to do that. A Bug Dragon one makes this seem very unlikely as well for a legendary, as I believe that would be the first Bug Dragon, but that would also be the way to do it, is if you're going to bring in, your first Bug Dragon Pokemon, that making a legendary would not be the worst idea. The DLC already being known and it revolving around underwater ruins isn't a terrible idea. It could be fun, but I feel like there's just so much more that you could do with it, especially if you're basing it off of Greece. The most realistic thing is, in my opinion, the release date being November 2026. I would be more surprised. I would love it personally, but I doubt, considering we're going to be getting Legends EA sometime at the end of quarter, or sometime, I guess, in the fall or early quarter 4 is what it's looking like, because they said late 2025. Realistically, that could be the second half, right? More than likely, that's going to be after August, though. So September, October, November. I'd be really surprised if they put it in December. That would be pretty unexpected, to say the least. But, having this game then, take a full year to release, I think would make the most sense. I wouldn't be 100% surprised if they decide to do it sometime in March of next year or maybe early June. That definitely could happen, but it just doesn't. Pokemon wants to hit on the busiest time of year, which is holiday season. So November of 2026 would make all the sense in the world. I believe that's when Sword and Shield, and I know that's when Scarlet and Violet came out as well. So that might just be how it goes right now. We'll get, maybe a teaser or something like that in August when they do the second, Pokemon Presents, because I think they're going to bring that back this year. They only took that break last year, I think, because of, the massive leaks that came out with the Terra leaks. But it could be that, once they kind of make that announcement there, then we get a ton more information, in the one on Pokemon Day 2026 for the 30th anniversary, and then we get the actual game release later that year. So that is the only part that makes sense to me. I think the rest of this is kind of BS. I'm going to give this a thumbs down, to say the least. Some of the ideas are okay with this one, but I don't know. That's really about it for this one. So I don't know. Let me know if you guys disagree. Do you feel like this is pretty likely or not? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But that is going to wrap it up for us on this Pokemon video. So with that, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.